What's up, everybody? My name is Victor.
I'm Kei-Lin. We've been in a relationship for almost 4 years, and today we're going to share a story about how we met and how we're basically where we currently are.
If you like this type of content, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, send to your grandma, all the things.
Yes, and we love doing different food reviews, challenges, having conversations, so you're in the right place if you like those types of things.
All right, so let's get into it.
Yep. So before we get into this conversation, we thought it'd be really cool just to kind of try 2 different non-alcoholic drinks. We have another video on our channel where we reviewed a few different brands, and these 2, like I said, are new, so we're going to just start off with that. Okay, so I got the Mocktail Club Capri Spritz. The bottle is so pretty. It's the premium crafted non-alcoholic cocktail. This one is pomegranate, cranberry, shrub, and lemongrass, and it's lightly sparkling.
Okay, and I got Reed's ginger beer, craft ginger beer. This is not really like a non-alcoholic drink because their ginger beer is typically non-alcoholic. And I got the strongest flavor. I've had these before. I really like them, but I've never seen the strongest variety, so I'm excited to try that. Cheers. Okay.
Let's see. That's good. The first question is, how did we meet? Okay, this is kind of loaded.
Yeah.
Okay. So we met in college, technically. Victor started a year before I did. But my first year, we both were taking the same Spanish class. I think it was, I can't remember what level.
Spanish 3.
I think it was like, Spanish 3, and it was in the fall semester. So that's pretty much how we met, but we didn't
interact very much in that class. I tried to kind of interact with her, she was pretty and everything like that, but we really didn't end up actually talking very much from that Spanish class.
Yeah, maybe we should tell him about like our first encounter. Yes. Okay, so his way of talking to me was, I think after a few weeks of taking Spanish, we were leaving class, it was dismissed or whatever. I was walking into the hall, and before I left the class, I said something to the professor. I think it was like, hasta mañana, like I'll see you tomorrow, or adios, or something like that. Something very brief, but I know it was at least like a sentence to the professor. And he's right behind me. You're either right behind me or right in front of me. And you're like, oh wow, I didn't know you talk.
Yeah, but okay, for context, I had never seen her talk since at this point. She had never talked to anybody in the class at all, except for the professor. Like, she didn't talk to anybody beside her. She didn't talk to anybody in the classroom. So, like, I had never heard her really speak besides answering questions in Spanish. So when she said, oh, hasta mañana, the professor had a little short thing. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So you actually do talk to people.
Yeah, I think a little context is that I was the only freshman in the class. So I didn't know anyone else because I didn't do orientation with them. And then, so I can understand. But it really threw me off, and I definitely was thinking about that exchange for a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't the best icebreaker.
It wasn't the best icebreaker, but I should point out, I did notice him on the first day of class. Okay. I did notice him on the first day of class. I'll say that. Okay. What made us realize we liked each other? For me, I think, like I said, I noticed him on the first day of class, so I liked how he looked. I didn't know anything else really about you, but I could tell he was very different because the university we went to, a lot of people came from similar upbringings, had the same type of style, and Victor on the first day of class, he was wearing like a striped shirt. You had like a chain, but not like a gaudy or big chain, just like, I don't know what it's called, but like on his belt buckle, and I could just tell like, oh, you're not from here. So that really piqued my interest.
Yeah, the school's in the Northeast, and then I'm from the South, so the style was a little different. So I kind of did stick out.
Like a sore thumb.
Yeah, a little bit when I was walking around the campus. I think the thing that made me notice you the most, because like I said, in class, we didn't like, you didn't interact with anybody in the class. So I could only I see your face, and I think you sat in front of me, didn't you? Or behind me?
So I sat, there was like 3 or 4 rows in the class. I sat in the first row on the left-hand side when you're looking at the board.
Yeah, so I was always looking at the back. I was always looking at the back of her head too. So, and then as soon as class went, she zoomed out of there. So I really didn't get a chance to appreciate, her at the time. So I think the first time I really, really noticed her is I went to this Christmas gospel choir concert. I was like, who is this girl up here? She was gorgeous. She was wearing this nice dress. She's like, I could hear her singing. She sang very, very well. She's very, very pretty. I'm like, who's this girl? And then next time I went to Spanish class, I'm like, oh, that's you. Okay. And then I think that was the first time I was like really interested from that Christmas gospel choir concert.
Yeah.
So interested that I also joined gospel choir.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
You joined and you felt like the Lord was telling you that was your
path. Yeah. Well, that's a whole different part of the story.
Yeah.
So when I first saw her on that stage, and in my mind, I just felt like, oh, this is my wife. Like, out of nowhere. I saw her singing up there.
Very random.
And I was so, like, it wasn't something that I was thinking like, oh, wow, she's so pretty. I want to date her. No, the thought came in my mind, I was like, oh, this is my wife. So I told my friend, I was like, oh, like, look, you see this girl? Yeah, this is wifey right here. This is so. I told my friend that I was sitting with, right? But I didn't think much of it because, wifey's like a common, people used to call people wifey and all that stuff like that. But I really actually, it was in my mind. Like,
okay.
It was really in my mind. So, yeah. So then I ended up joining gospel choir so I could go talk to her.
Yeah. So, yeah. Next question is, when did we start dating and when did the long distance begin? Okay, so this is the story. It gets even more complicated from there, but we did start sort of interacting a little bit after you joined gospel choir. Got to know you a tiny bit and we went on like 2 dates, but nothing really happened after that.
Yeah, long story short, I was raggedy, and at the time in college, I needed to get myself together. She already had herself together. I needed to get myself together, and it took a little while for that to happen. So when we first started dating, we were of course attracted to each other, but we were just different in two different places, so it just wasn't going to work out initially.
Yeah. So yeah, like 3 years essentially went by. He still was in gospel choir the entire time, so it's great. Like,
look at her.
It's great that you continued going. But we didn't start dating until literally the day after I graduated college. So he graduated in May of 2021, and I graduated in August of 2021. But that summer we had essentially like reconnected because we were both considered seniors on our campus. So we did like all the senior activities together. We did have mutual friends, and I got to like essentially learn more about who he was.
Yeah, through that mutual friend
group, and just from finding out that we were both graduating at the same time. But yeah, we started dating August 20th.
Perfect timing.
Of right after I was in college. He already was in North Carolina. I was in Connecticut.
Yeah.
So the long distance literally started the day we started.
Long distance from the beginning.
Yeah, from the jump.
From the beginning.
Where are we both living right now, and how often do we see each other?
So I live in DMV right now. I'm going to school. I'm in PA school right now at Howard. And so I'm midway between essentially our families. I'm from North Carolina. She's from Connecticut. So I'm right at the midway point between the both of our families.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it. And we see each other. When we first started dating, we didn't see each other for the first 6 months. And then we kind of came in agreement with like, we'll see each other every other month. And we did that for at least a year. But then the trips started to increase because in my opinion, it gets harder the longer you date long distance.
Yeah.
So you want to see each other more. So now we're kind of at a place where we see each other every month. There have been times where I see him 2 times a month, which is for special occasions like family events, holidays, and that's been really nice. I love when the winter time has come around. Because it's just like back and forth. Yeah, then I could kind of see him for 2 times in a month.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing. Like you said, I'm in Connecticut right now. I work. And how do we manage our schedules to stay connected? I would say for our entire relationship, pretty much, we always have FaceTimed in the nighttime. because we've had jobs.
Yeah, for the first half of our relationship, I was in North Carolina. I was working as an EMT, and I was working a schedule that was 24-hour shift on and then 72 hours off. So, depending on what station I was at, some were a little bit more busy, some were a little less. But during the shift, if I had a free hour or so to FaceTime, I would FaceTime her, and then the rest of the week, I only really worked twice a week because I was working 24-hour shifts. The rest of the week I was free, so I just wait for her to get off of work, or if she's, has a free moment, then we would just talk, we watch movies, we FaceTime, we just, all the things.
I don't know what we would do without FaceTime, honestly.
Facts.
Yeah.
A call on the phone, I guess, but,
We're not the type of long distance couple that does calls on the phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, when we're driving somewhere, we'll do it. But I do know that there are couples and they love doing calls. I would just rather see his face, see expressions, especially when we first started dating. That was, for me, that was big because I didn't really know how you react to stuff. So I was able to learn that just through FaceTime. What are some new challenges we're facing in our long distance relationship? Do you want to answer that one? Or?
New challenges. I think the whole, it's been the consistent challenge of just trying to schedule everything and kind of do our lives together, but in such separate locations,
Yeah.
Kind of meshing our schedules together, even though there's usually with that there's traveling involved, there's work schedules involved, there's families involved, there's holidays, different things we do for holidays. So it's been kind of a thing you have to navigate in all long distance relationships, where you have to kind of put in the effort to make the schedule work.
For sure. How much longer do we expect to be long distance?
We gotta say that. That's you have to, if you want to know that one, you gotta stick around for that, because we have some things in the works. But I won't say much more about that one.
We do.
I won't say much more.
Soon. Soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. That's a little look into our long distance journey. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, and if you like this type of content, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all the different things. It really helps for the algorithm to get our content pushed out. And plus, if you like long distance content, or you have any more questions for us and the things we did, how we made it work over the last 4 years, almost 4 years, please leave a comment, because we'll be making more content like this in the future, if you guys want to see it. So,
yeah.
Anything else?
No, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.